Hello geeks and gamers, it's Jeremy coming to you with another video, and today I want to give a more detailed explanation on what I think a social justice warrior is. Now I think that there's probably different interpretations and different usages of social justice warriors, and I've been using that term on this channel a lot. So I just want to give my explanation because I've had a few people ask me like, what exactly do you mean by that? So here's exactly what I mean by that. A social justice warrior, in my opinion, and the way I use it, is basically someone that has no true allegiance towards anything other than their social message. So, for instance, it's someone that they never cared about Star Wars before they wanted to interject their social agenda into Star Wars. So, why would anybody care about your opinion of Star Wars if you've never cared about it before? And then as soon as they feel they have accomplished some success into whatever fandom or business they're trying to push their agenda into, they don't stay around to sustain the success of that agenda. They move on to the next prey that they can find. And so that's my basic philosophy of what a social justice warrior is. For instance, I've had people call me and say, hey, you're complaining about social justice warriors, complaining about stuff, but yet isn't that what you're doing with Star Wars? No, motherfucker. I love Star Wars. I have been a Star Wars fan my entire life. Clearly, I've spent a few dollars on Star Wars. So as a fan, I feel that it's my duty to say, hey, I'm a fan. I spend all of my money on this stuff. I stand in line all the time. I travel to Star Wars conventions. I do podcasts. I do YouTube shows. I spend the majority of my time talking about Star Wars. So if I, as a fan, don't like the current direction of Star Wars, and I want to do my part to create change within Star Wars, that is my right as a fan because I have supported this franchise for a long, long time. But in that same token, that same thing goes for if you're a Star Wars fan and you don't like what I'm doing, and if you don't like my opinions, then hey, you have every right to step to me and tell me you would disagree with me, and I will listen to you, I will respect you, and I will appreciate you. I will not sit there and disrespect you if you are a true Star Wars fan. But if you're just a social justice warrior and you don't care about Star Wars and you want to step to me and try to tell me what needs Star Wars, you can kiss my ass. Your opinion is irrelevant as you are. Nobody cares about this stuff. So that's a social justice warrior in a nutshell. Another great example, Colin Kaepernick. If any of you are sports fans, Colin Kaepernick last year, or was it 2 years ago? I can't remember now. He started kneeling for the national anthem, created all this, problems with the NFL, and they were losing ratings and attendance and things like that. And a lot of people had an opinion on that. Generally speaking, football fans were just like, shut up and play football. That's all. I just want to be entertained on Sunday. I don't care about your social justice bullshit. I don't care about your politics. I just want you to play football. And then you have people like freaking Susan Sarandon, like creating rallies in New York City for Colin Kaepernick. Has anybody ever heard Susan Sarandon talk about the NFL? Has anybody ever heard Susan Sarandon make playoff predictions? Has anybody ever heard her talk about the Super Bowl coming up and who she hopes to win? No! Because she's a social justice warrior. So why should anybody give a damn what Susan Sarandon says? So when a social justice warrior wants to preach about Colin Kaepernick and why he should be on an NFL team, well, social justice warrior, who's your favorite NFL team? Oh, I don't really follow sports. Okay, so if Colin Kaepernick gets signed, are you going to maybe buy the Sunday NFL ticket? Or are you going to buy a $150 jersey? Or are you going to go to a few games? Going to buy some merchandise? Oh no, that social justice warrior will move on to the next outrage. They're basically, my interpretation of social justice warriors, they're basically zombies. They don't really have any true direction. They don't really have any true sense of what they're doing. They just kind of wander around looking for the next victim to infect their virus on. But they really don't have a true conscience. They really don't understand what they're doing. They're just mindless zombies walking around looking to find anything they can to scream and infect their BS into. That is my basic, interpretation of a social justice warrior. There might be different ones out there, but I just think it's someone, like, you should never listen to them because they will never sustain your business model. That's why we've seen what Marvel Comics tried to pander to them and it ultimately failed. We saw Ghostbusters pander to them and it ultimately failed. We've seen Doctor Who. You may have to let me know, but I know Doctor Who went with the whole female thing and it really upset a lot of the fans, and I don't think it did very well. I don't watch Doctor Who. Pretty much everything that social justice is trying to they try to inject to, they pretty much fail. And now we're seeing it put into Star Wars, and it's obviously going in the wrong direction. So every time people try to do this, it's not a sustainable business model. So I don't know why they continue doing it. It blows my mind. It's unbelievable. But what do you do? Anyway, that's my interpretation. I hope that cleared it up a little bit. So it's basically someone that just tries to find outrage in anything and everything, but they have no true allegiance to anything. So there's really no reason to listen to them because they are completely and totally irrelevant, and they have no true vested interest in what they are complaining about. Have a great day, geeks and gamers. Talk to you later. Bye.